Hello, listening audience, and welcome to another Toonkind at 12 frames per second. My name is Whirl. I am one of your players for today, and I am joined by the wonderful, fantastic, amazing, talented, amazing, best geographer in the world, funny, amazing. I keep saying amazing because I'm running out of words to use during these, but
you've already killed me. You've already killed your partner. Congratulations. She's dead of love.
You are now dead, and it is my fault.
Oh, we've got two detectives and we've already got a murder. Well done.
Spoilers!
Oh no! But hi everyone, I'm V Wild, and yes, I am dead, and apparently a major spoiler. And of course, I am playing with the absolutely fantabulous Well. I mean, seriously, you're awesome, and I love you.
Silence.
Oh. And you already know, I presume by people knowing who I am, I'm playing Detective Lil Lin Stagehand.
Who we love. We love this disaster monkey. This monkey is amazing. Okay. So, let me set the scene. So, let me paint you a word picture. Lynn, you've been getting better lately. Yeah?
Indeed. The best she's, quite frankly, ever been.
Mm-hmm. And you've been forming a lot of new connections. A lot of new family. You have a son, for Christ's sakes. You have a son and several nibblings, and just things have been going great for you. You've been having a good time, and it's a slow day today. No cases for once. You happened to happen across something, though, as you are hanging around with Network. You happen across a business card in shades of dark brown and cream that still smells slightly like coffee and almonds.
Oh, she goes soft at that. She's got incredibly fond memories as she picks it up.
It's been a while since you've been to the address on the card. It's been a while since you've checked in with the person who gave it to you, hasn't it? How long would you say it's been?
I'd say, honestly, a bit over a year. It's definitely before the corn maze. It's, a year and month, 2 months. And as she's thinking of this, she is going to be looking at the Wall of Pride at some old newspapers that she hasn't quite let herself look at in a long time. Oh, nostalgia hits. But, hey, Network? Tell Little Rai I'm going out for a day. I'm just gonna check up on something. You know what I mean. And Lynn walks out, just calm as you like. Well, calm as this monkey can get when she's a little nervous. Puts on her hat, puts on her coat, leaves a little note for Rai of don't eat the pick and cookies while I'm gone, and then takes a familiar route. She's going to another home.
And it's funny. Toontown is, well, known for its constant changing. Actually, most of Einquell is known for being in sort of a constant state of motion, always having things happening, stories starting, having their middle and ending. But as you go down this path, the closer you get to Bakery Street, the more it feels like nothing has changed. There are still trees lining street that are in full bloom. Not quite giving fruit yet, but still smelling very sweet, with pink flowers as summer is being born from spring. The buildings are still tall and made of dark red brick, and the pavement is still more of a rough cobblestone than any proper sidewalk. And when you get to 221B, it looks the same as it did the last time you visited. Same rusted bronze numbers next to the door, same old door knocker, same scratches on the wood where, well, occasionally people bump into it, because, people tend to come and go here all hours of the night.
She's probably added a few scratches of her own by accident.
Mm-hmm. And there's the same sticker on the mailbox, the one of a pair of oddly diamond-shaped handcuffs and a magnifying glass. It doesn't look like he's moved.
No. Lynn rubs her hand over the sticker just to make sure it's in place, and partially as well, she's honestly so relieved that he's still here, that they're still here, that it's been a long time in a sense and no time at all, and this is one of the hardest things she's ever done. Holy pick. But she's not going to chicken out, because she's come this far. Whatever happens, happens, and she'll accept it if it goes wrong, and if it goes right, well, she owes them. She owes them this. And she adjusts her hat for confidence, gives a little rub of her brooch, and then she is going to march towards that door. Very confident monkey, totally confident. Her tail is not going haywire.
Of course not. Of course not. Do you knock on the door?
I think she does, after just... I like to think that she stands at that door, just does the little heel bounce, and then goes, okay, pick it.
And knock.
Yes.
And from inside, there's a chipper, youthful voice that says, "Hold on a second, we'll be right with you." And there's the sound of a bit of a kerfuffle. Somebody, tripping down the stairs. And the door is closed for a few minutes as more sounds are issued from behind it. As is, classic.
Lynn is grateful for that minute, because the second she heard that voice, her breath was taken away just for a moment. She knows that kid. She knows that kid. Holy pick.
And there is a click, and the door unlocks. There's the sound of a couple different deadbolts and, chain locks being undone. They always have been pretty sharp about security here.
As you should. Lynn supports it wholeheartedly.
And then the door swings open. "So sorry to keep you waiting. What can we help you with?" And Wendy Walnut Dulcis freezes in the doorway as she looks up at you.
There is no masking it. Lynn does have tears, just... There is a glimmer to her eyes as she just goes, "Hi, little picnic."
"Auntie Goldie!" And Wendy just jumps forward and throws her arms around your neck, Lin.
It is the immediate cat. Yeah, this child is caught. This child is giving the fluffiest, strongest hug that Lin can as she just hugs back.
You're okay! You're okay, you're alive! We were so worried about you!
Yes, I'm alive, I'm alive. Wendy, oh, holy heck, it is good to see you. Oh, look at you! You have grown, look at you! Holy heck, you look fantastic!
I grew a whole 3 inches!
3 inches! Holy, maybe you've gotten tall. Honestly, you're gonna get taller than me at this stage. I mean, seriously, what have you been eating? Have you been drinking more milk?
Yeah. Miss Lala and sit.
Oh, look at you.
And Wendy is just grinning and kind of... She has tears in her own eyes. She's so happy to see you.
I'm gonna roll a...
Oh, go ahead.
I'm gonna roll a con save to see how well Lin is gonna keep it together on the I am going to cry, this child is adorable. Nope, okay, there is the slight waterworks. She is the fluffiest pom-pom you've ever seen, and there are the tears. She's not full-on bawling, but it's close.
Yeah, I mean, she's doing better than Wendy. I'm not even gonna roll for it. Wendy is a child. This is an 8-year-old. This is an 8-year-old. She is sobbing.
Oh, Peck, okay, bless. Okay. I've broken a child. Oh, Peck. And Lin is, in the comical way of, yes, this isn't odd, she is just, with very fluffy paws, just gonna bat those tears. Just like, nope, 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 we're gonna fix this. We're gonna fix it. Those tears are going away. Yep.
And that makes Wendy laugh, because she's always been a very happy kid, despite, you know, the family occupation.
Yes.
And after a moment of quiet, she starts bouncing, and she, like, grabs your hands, Lin, and she's like, "Wait, we have to go inside. We have to tell Papa you're here. He's been so worried about you. We have to, oh goodness, he's gonna be so happy to see you. Come on.
I'm coming. For you, kiddo, anything. I'm on my way. And yeah, Lin just lets herself be dragged, her tail pulling the door closed behind her. They should probably bolt that. It'll happen. Right now, she's caught in the moment, because this is one of her nieces. This is actually her first niece, I think, with everything.
Mm-hmm.
Holy pet. And she just lets herself be pulled. There is no strength check or anything. She would do anything for this child in this moment.
Bless her heart. Yeah, Wendy drags her into the apartment, which is why don't you roll perception?
I shall roll perception. What is your perception? What's your perception, Lin? I know your deception. What's your perception? 6. Hey! 24!
Not bad at all. Okay. So, it's been a while since you've been in here, but let's be honest, you've been in here so many times that it's probably burned into the back of your eyeballs.
She's been coming here for, well, technically 8 years. I mean, she had the one nice gap year now. But yeah, she knows this place.
Yeah.
She can probably do it blindfold.
Yeah. There are a couple differences. Back in the day, the apartment, you know, it was pleasantly messy. It was a little cluttered, but it was always in a nice state of array. A bit like, well, the people who inhabit it. You know, when one of you is a child and the other is a scatterbrain, it tends to get a little messy. It's a lot messier than it used to be. There are files on the table. There are books on and off the shelves. It's a little bit more of a mess than you're used to. And it smells a little more strongly of coffee than it used to. Like, goodness gracious, let's be real. This is probably where you picked up the coffee addiction, at least partially.
Oh, yep, for definite. It's definitely where it started rising from, oh, hey, latte to, yes, the third coffee of the morning.
Yeah, it smells basically the way your house used to before you kicked the coffee habit.
There is the slight tail curl, and there is actually a very soft sneeze from Lynn.
Gesundheit!
Thank you. Your father been, busy?
Oh, yeah.
Wendy?
Yeah, well, he's always busy. You know how things are. The disaster department keeps calling him in on different cases, and oh, we've been working together on a case. I got one of my own.
You have? Oh, holy! I should probably stop saying. In fact, no. I've said holy peck since you were a baby. I shall carry on saying it. Holy peck! You've got your own case.
Yeah, I'm working the Phantom Bluebird case. Papa's been helping me out with some of the details because, well, I'm really good at figuring out the clues, but I'm not so good at actually finding places in the city because I don't have maps and I also don't have a car. So Papa's been helping me out in that way. But I've been chasing the Phantom Bluebird thief, and I've almost got him pretty much every time.
Oh, you are incredible, and I am so proud of your first case. And yet Lynn is just full on pom-pom. There is the squeak, and yes, she is looking at you with utter pride, because and she's just going to go, okay, when you're older, I will teach you how to parkour, because I don't have a car, yet I'm able to get quite a few places, but you're not doing that until you're older, alright? I'm expecting at least 12, okay?
Would you be mad if I said that I was already learning? Let's not answer that right now. Papa should be in his office. It's through here. And she's going to move aside a giant stack of books and case files that's sort of just sitting off to one side.
Oh, Lynn is going to steal a couple of those later on and lighten the load, because holy mother pit, that is something. Yeah, she's going to steal some of those.
Well, I mean, most of them are actually old.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Right.
You know your friend. Most of the time, he keeps the old ones in the living room in the bookshelves, but the new ones are usually in the office.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Speaking of which, Wendy stands on her tiptoes and knocks on the door, and then opens it without waiting for an answer.
Several children do that. I mean, Rye does it a couple of times as well.
And, you guys are now in the office, so why don't you roll me another perception?
I will. And I might just do a wisdom save as well for Lynn. That's an 11, and I'm just going to roll a wisdom for a very specific reason. Okay, she's doing a little bit, I think, with a 14, that's a little above average, but not much. She is just about keeping a grip on her nerves, because, yeah, this is the moment. This is, well, definitely no turning back now, because I don't think she'd be able to defenestrate herself in time to stop anything, and that'd probably cause distress to the child.
Do not jump out the window!
It is a perfectly valid escape of many forms.
Not in this situation, madam.
A very pick and valid truth.
you got an 11 for perception, so let me paint you a bit of a word picture. It is a disaster in this room. Like, don't get me wrong, it's always been a bit of a messy space, but it is a disaster. There are, the bookshelves are full, but there's still stacks of books on the floor and on the coffee table. Speaking of which, the coffee table has at least 3 mugs left behind on it that you can see.
Okay. Okay.
The couch looks like it's, sort of been cleared to some degree because, somebody probably sleeps there. And, there's actually something that does catch your eye, though. There is a board across the room. There's a board upon which several newspaper clippings and photos and magazine bits, all sorts of things are tacked up with light golden string connecting them with, colorful thumbtacks. And, Lynn, it's all about you. It's all different headlines and whatnot from the cases you've been on in the past year and 2 months. It's about the different places you've been seen, and there are a couple notes on there. You're a little too far away to read them, but it looks a little messier than what you would have learned from this person. And you kind of put together as you come into the room and this catches your eye that he was looking for you.
Oh. And for the 3rd time today, I think, Lynn's breath is stolen from her. As the full weight of everything that's happened, of the time she's been away, and now actually witnessing this care, this love, she just stares at it in, perhaps awe is the best word to put it, but not quite. There are far too many emotions for her to even name them herself. Gods. Just gods.
And as you're kind of having this moment, Wendy leaves your side and kicks her way through the mess of books and paperwork and goes over to the desk, which has always been in the back corner of the room next to the window. And she taps the figure who is sitting hunched over the desk on the shoulder. Papa! 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 Are you awake? Yes, Wendy, I'm awake, darling. Not right now, okay? I'm almost to the bottom of this one. Okay, no, it wasn't. Dang it. No, lost the train of thought. Papa! You need to pay attention! Wendy, what is it? Is the house on fire? Did you set the stove on fire again? That was one time, and no, Goldie's here! Auntie Goldie's here! What? What are you talking? And, Wendy grabs the figure at the desk by the hand and drags him to his feet. His, almost scraping the ceiling with the top of his head full height. And you lock eyes with your old mentor. Detective Alder, but you never called him that. You always called him Almond.
Never have, never will.
And he is momentarily struck speechless, which seems to be a theme.
Lynn can't say a word either for a moment. Her golden fur is admittedly outlined as she just stares and... Gods. And she does muster herself after a long moment of just staring. Yes, yeah, she is ever so slightly crying again. But she just goes, "Hi, Almond. I'm back."
Yep, okay. Make a strength save.
Okay. Strength save, strength save, strength save. Alright. And I'm gonna
Aww.
I'm gonna say it's a disadvantage just for the whole thing if she does not see it coming. 13?
Yeah, okay. I'm gonna say that doesn't make it just because, you know, base strength is a 16. Lin, you are now being scooped up in a huge hug.
There is the audible squeak from Lin of like a squeaky toy. Yeah. She freezes.
Yeah, you're being hugged for a hot minute.
Oh, I've missed this. And Lin does just full on. She loves hugs, and quite frankly, this guy gives the pecking best hugs, and she remembers them, and she just curls into it fully. Just his shirt is gonna get a little messy because she is just gonna full on. It's gonna get crumpled as she just balls her fist and it just gets even tighter.
Oh, goodness. I mean, that is completely valid, and don't worry, it was probably wrinkled to shit already. And
these two,
yeah, Lynn, you are getting the biggest fucking hug, and when he finally gets his words back, Almond says, "Where the fuck have you been?"
Around? Would you believe me if I said I just lost track of time getting the milk?
Hell of a long time to... That's a hell of a long time to lose track of, Goldie.
You know me.
Yeah, that I do. Saints, I missed you, kid.
I missed you too, Almond. I missed you so much.
What happened, Goldie? Where were you? We were so worried. I thought you had up and peck and died.
No, didn't manage to do that. A few close scares, misses, potentials, but no, I'm here and I'm alive and I'm safe. I promise. Actually, doing a bit better nowadays. Seem to have got the coat back, if you catch my drift, and she does fluff up a little bit.
And he kind of pulls back from the hug a little bit and gently ruffles her hair and says, Yeah, you look good, kiddo.
The reason behind it is a bit of a long story, and I'll admit one I do owe you parts to, seeing as, yeah, been a bit of a picnic. And you can roll me insight if you like.
I will happily roll you insight.
Also, I'm sorry to Wendy. Yes, Lynn is definitely keeping up her many, many swears.
Wendy doesn't mind.
15, yeah. Almond, you've known Lynn for years. You've known her through thick and thin, and you've seen her when she's tried to hide or when she's just done stupid shit. And this is definitely who's trying to figure out how best to say everything. At the same time, this monkey is just the pinnacle of deception. It's basically what she does for 75% of her time. But she is trying to figure out how to say things and them not sound terrifying. And she is also the fluffiest you have seen her. I mean, seriously, the russets and colours, I mean, her eyes are the brightest golden brown you have seen in over in around 5 years. Because they've always had a red tinge to them since an incident. But she's back to being completely gold. No claws, no fangs. Well, tiny nubbin fangs of a monkey, yes. But all of the sharp edges and quite a bit of the sleep deprivation that you probably saw before has lifted. What changed?
And I mean, this guy is a professional detective, so he is taking note of all this. And he's going to pause for a minute and think. Because, yes, he wants the story. He wants to know where his, student/kid pecked off to.
Yeah.
He wants to know what happened to the person who was, his partner in crime, or crime solving, for several years. But at the same time, he knows that sometimes you're not ready to talk about stuff, and that's okay too. And he kind of thinks for a moment and says, "Tell me what you want to, not what you feel I deserve to know. Tell me what will make you comfortable to have heard. And anything else, well, we can say, suffice it to say, you made mistakes."
Yeah. And Almond, in the way that you always seem to somehow do, you've said lines that resonate with Lynn and her fur, which had been outlining and fluctuating between outline and fluff and outline, does relax as she looks up at you. And yeah, she goes, "Oh, I think I've got a few things that fit that criteria, although some of them aren't kiddo friendly."
And Almond kind of looks up at Wendy, who's just kind of standing by a pile of books, like, waiting. And he kind of gives her a look, and she's like, "Okay, I'll go do my homework." "Thank you, sweetheart."
"You're gonna do great, kid!"
"I know, I'm the best in my class."
"Freaking fantastic! Have fun!"
Whoa. Math.
Don't do what I did. Don't write any swear words. You have to redo the work if you write the swear words.
I don't think math allows for swear words, but I will keep that in mind.
I can show you how you can do that.
Please don't.
They grow up so fast.
She really has.
And she said she's got her own case now,
God, yeah, she's gonna drive me to insanity with that one. And he kind of laughs and runs his hand through his hair and says, "It was supposed to be my case at first, but she kept sneaking onto the scene when I told her to stay home. Until eventually, well, they gave the case to her because she kept finding the clues. She is a child, they should not have done so, but as long as she's on my task force, that means I can look after her."
This is Toontown, Almond. When they can find a child detective, they throw stuff at them.
Tell me about it.
And besides, remember how we met? I mean, I kept on climbing on your back to get cases. Literally.
Yes, I remember. You were an absolute menace, Goldie.
I was picking fantastic and you love me.
You can be a menace and still be a delight.
That's picking through and I know it. And yeah, there is the smug monkey grin at that. Just like, yep, too late. You got attached. It was too late.
And he's just going to snort and tug your hat down over your eyes.
Oh, your mother pick. I'm one day gonna be able to do that to you. One day. We're gonna get you a hat. We're gonna get you a really big hat and I'm gonna do that to you. And Lynn actually does something she doesn't do unless with very few people. She full on just takes off the hat and just ruffles her hair and then just goes, you.
The day you get me in a hat is the day I become the chief commissioner of Parthenia.
Oh, we can arrange that. We can arrange that. I'm picking sure of it. But then again, that would mean you're travelling.
Yeah, I haven't been home in ages. Anyway, story time, kiddo. What's been going on with you?
Do you want the long of it, the short of it, the crazy of it, or pecking nightmare of it?
How about all of the above in that order?
Okay. Did I say long or short first? Short of it? Okay. Pecking magical bullshit, crazy scenarios. I'm cured of a condition that might have been lycanthropy, but also really pecking wasn't.
Alright, that explains the design change.
Yeah. Turns out, no, it wasn't just a plot-related thing, as I told you. Admittedly, that was kind of a far-fetched lie, but hey. Surprise!
And you were just getting a flat look. Like, did you really think that you had tricked him?
Admittedly, seeing as, well, actually, no, every time this sort of thing got brought up, she probably either defenestrated herself or yelled, look, a distraction, and threw a coffee on the table. So, no.
Bless.
The longer version of it is, well, you remember when my design changed with the, Shady Deals case, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's hard to forget.
Yeah. I never quite showed you a, nice souvenir I got from that, did I?
No, I don't believe you did.
Yeah. Yep. I would say you probably want a coffee for it, but honestly, I think you've had enough.
And he actually is still holding, like, a mug of espresso, and he just takes a sip of it, and that stuff is black enough to fucking rival tar. So there is something wrong there.
Lynn will not, because she is full on sworn off of it, but she does stare at it very intently for a moment of just, she wants it, but she doesn't want it, but she wants it. And instead of doing that, she does look away, and she pulls her jumper, or not her jumper, because she's wearing her jacket and a nice shirt underneath, and she pulls it to one side, and yeah, could you tell everyone what your passive is?
His passive is 27. He's got a passive perception of 27.
Yeah. You immediately, because Lynn didn't used to wear a shirt, you immediately see where the gold, there is a darker brown there. And as she tugs, yeah, almond? Holy fuck, that is a big bite. That is a bite that goes from just by her neck through her collarbone, and you can see the end or the other side of it at just the edge of her shoulder blade, at the far end, and it goes down. You don't see how far because she's only tugged it off the shoulder, but whatever did that was enormous. You know, just by looking, just by what you are as an investigator, that this was huge.
And he's quiet for a minute, then lets out a low whistle and is just like, whatever the hell did that to you has got a hell of a thing coming, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, you're part of a club on that one.
Christ.
But the bite caused the changes and was causing more changes over time, with a escalation in the past year that was almost too much for my body to be able to handle.
And that's why you never came around.
Yeah, it's... When I said earlier it was a bit like lycanthropy, if you know anything about that.
A couple things. Worked on a case with someone who had it back in Parthenia, but I don't think it was anything like what you went through.
Yeah, it's... I've talked to certain people since then, and we've actually ruled out lycanthropy to a certain extent. It's similar. It is was a curse, but it gave me a certain lupine shift that was... Well, turns out tiny little monkey can get 4 foot tall and 8 foot long. Who knew? And
Stars, Goldie.
And Almond, would you like to roll me a history check?
I would love to roll you a history check. History is something I am not proficient in. But that's still a +3. That's an 8.
I will give advantage, seeing as this is related to the cases of the past, namely what Lin did on certain cases.
Mm-hmm. That's a 6.
You know what? This actually fits to a certain extent. Almond, you remember certain cases as those years went on after Shady Deals, where it's a little hazy, but sometimes Lin would just dart off your shoulder and just rush into a situation, or chase someone, or would go partway through a case and you'd look around and you wouldn't find her. You wouldn't see her. You'd perhaps hear her from the shadows for a bit, and she'd always come back, but you can't recall her ever showing you this. She kept it well hidden.
And he sighs and he swears under his breath very, very profusely in a couple different languages, some of which you don't know.
He's gonna learn them.
Because he really should have figured that out, huh?
I knew ways of making sure you didn't see, but it got progressively worse, and after, you remember with the stuff with the Mr. Zippy and how the cold period set in, it seemed to kickstart it into going even worse. And Lin actually almost freezes. She's now... Her tail is a tail that you know incredibly well. She's wrapped it around herself and she's trying to straighten the kink a little, and she goes, when the last time we talked, I went home and I had a few nightmares, and turns out I didn't realise this before, but turns out you can shift in your sleep. And it took me a while to be able to shift back. It kept getting harder to shift back. And to speak or to do anything, honestly, it was getting a lot, well, harder to figure out where I began and where it, well. And she just goes silent.
And there's a moment of quiet. And then Almond reaches over the back of the couch and pulls over a very familiar coat and just wraps you up in it like a blanket.
There is a shuffle and then a half curl, and yeah, in a move that you remember many a time when Lin was tired or stressed, and she just, this pom-pom of a Toon just curls up in it. With the nightmares, they had a bit of a theme, and, well, with certain people who kept on coming up in them, I thought it best to not make them a reality. I mean, the red grins and then the... I never wanted to hurt you or Wendy, or... I never wanted that to happen, so well... When in trouble, you pick and run!
Yeah, but you shouldn't have run from the people who could help you, but I'm not gonna give you trouble for that. Hell knows pot can't call the kettle black. And he, like, kind of gently ruffles your hair again and is just, you're doing better now? You're safe? It's not gonna hurt you.
Yeah, I'm safe for now. It's... the thing that did this to me, I admit I still haven't caught it. Whatever it is, I don't think it's in Toontown at the moment. Maybe it's gonna come back eventually, but I've searched all of Shady Deals a couple of times. Probably didn't help that I've somehow developed a fear of warehouses since I was last there. But I've searched and I can't find it. But I found some help earlier this year. You ever been to Halloween Town?
I'm gonna roll history just to see if he has. That's the wrong thing. 19! He thinks for a minute and then nods and says, yeah, the Cinnamon Magician case. That took me out there.
Well, long story short, on another tangent, I went to a corn maze. Turns out it wasn't a case, it was genuinely a corn maze. May have made a few poor life decisions, may have made a very regrettable decision, because he who wolf, he who child, he who... Oh, but
goodness.
From that situation, and from several others afterwards, and a harrowing dinner party, just between you and me, dinner parties are terrifying. People get poisoned at them. They're a terrible thing. Why do people have them?
Because some people like the whole pomp and circumstance nonsense.
Well, we do like pomp from time to time, and the people who were having the dinner party are... Well, you went on the cinnamon case, I went into the macabre manor.
You what?
Yeah. Turns out, may have befriended the people in there. In fact, actually, their network, I've given them business cards. Jacques and Asclepius, or actually Jacques Macabre, the leader of Halloween Town, and his husband, Asclepius Ash, the second in command, and Judge. Yeah, those guys have a lot of titles. Wow. I should find out more of their titles at some stage. But, yeah, I met them. They seem to like me. They seem to like me a lot, seeing as, yes, the network and, well, magic.
Magic.
Yes.
You,
As always.
Lil Lin, Goldie, magical bullshit stagehand.
Oh, those are definitely the wrong middle names, but yes.
I call them nicknames instead of middle names.
Indeed. The petting magical bullshit, as always, somehow blindsides me, but in this one, the best of ways. Yeah. Grave Clerics. Asclepius, brilliant guy. I should introduce you guys at some stage. That'd be awesome. That'd be picking hilarious. You guys have got really high perception. I can't get away with shit around either of you. Anyway, so he actually had a way of curing a curse, which, in hindsight, I probably should have figured out that was a thing. But then again, I tried to read the magic book that Jacques gave me, and those make no picking sense. It's a lot of words and jargon and pictures that don't make sense, and yet Lynn is now going off into her picking magical bullshit spiel. There are the soft notes of Grawlix around her head as she's just going, it doesn't make any sense, but it does.
And he kind of laughs and says, remind me at some point to introduce you to Lala. She can probably teach you something. She's good with teaching magic to people who don't know dick all about magic.
Oh, that's a nice phrase. You say that around your kid?
At this point, Wendy swears almost as often as I fucking do. I just told her don't do it around her classmates, don't do it around her teachers, and if she does, so she didn't learn it from me.
You can say she learned it from me. I am so picking proud of her.
You and me both. She's a wonder. She's been doing amazing.
Reminds me of my son.
And there is a spit take! I'm sorry, you're what?
Oh, right. I got a son! Surprise!
Do I have to blow someone's head off?
No! Please, well, actually, yes. But no, but yes. Different person to who you're thinking of, I'm sure.
Yes, but not in that way. Okay, let's cover the basics. When's the kid's birthday?
Okay, that's mid-October, or mid-August. His name's Little Rye. He's pecking adorable and he's 15.
Righto. What kind of stuff does he need? Does he need toys, food stuff, PJs?
Okay, PJs are already covered. Network may have gone slightly overboard on that front. Food stuff is also covered. He's definitely eating... Well, he's eating healthy, he's eating happy, and he's absolutely raiding the peck out of the cookie jar, which I should probably monitor later on, because yes, he does steal from it. I know he does. I might not catch him, but I know he does, because I count. Stuff he likes or wants? Drawing stuff. He's really fond of drawing. Also, probably an education. I mean, he is more well-taught than I am. I mean, you should see his handwriting. Holy heck, he's fancy. But, yeah, we should probably get him into school at some stage. I will wrestle him into a school at some stage.
Alright, I can recommend a couple with those. Alright, anyone after the kid? I know what kind of crowds you run with.
As always. Yeah, there is someone.
Alright,
looking
who are we after?
And here Lynn is actually just like leaning over against you and she's done the prayer hands as she goes, how do I put this delicately? And she goes, well, it's the leader of another place. of the you know the Pokemani? Yeah. One of their islands? Yeah. He's the leader of it.
Okay, so we're gonna Viva La Revolution the place. Alright.
Fantastic! I knew you'd be on board. Basically, I want to steal the picnic's kneecaps because, holy Pokey's done a lot of shit to my kid and I want him dead.
Fair enough.
But
I'll make sure that you don't get involved with the lawsuit. I know a couple lawyers.
But we don't need lawyers if we have plausible deniability.
Lynn.
And a lot of alibis. If we have enough alibis, it works. But we should probably stop talking about this before people start listening in.
You do realize that I have soundproofed every inch of this office, right?
I fucking love you.
Fucking love you too, kid.
But, yeah. With Rai, things have settled down. I mean, our first meeting was, well, definitely a reason why I didn't want to be around Wendy, because, as I said, Wolf, me, sharp claws, kid's hoodie. Just grateful I didn't get worse with the kid. But things are doing better now. I mean, I've fully adopted them. And now that the curse is out of the way, I've got a lot clearer head. Don't need the coffee. Speaking of, give me that. And Lynn is going to try and steal your coffee.
He is going to hold it out of your fucking out of your fucking range. I am sorry, Lynn.
Can I just say, there is a very fun fact about Lynn nowadays.
Let me guess, climbing speed?
Lynn has a climbing speed where she doesn't need to make a check for climbing.
Lynn, no.
Be still so barbarian. You hold it up, and it is the... I'm pretty sure there's almost the smugness of, Lynn... Goldie couldn't do that before. She wouldn't have been able to reach. It would have been a very comical, her leaping in the air going, eek, eek, as she tried to get it. No, she looks at you, she looks at the mug, and there is the sudden smell of pumpkin spice as Lynn all of a sudden just jumps at you and just climbs.
And I probably need to make a strength save as Oliver just squawks indignantly.
I'm getting you picking coffee to save your life!
You are not supposed to drink this. It will give you a heart attack.
I mean, I'm pretty sure I was immune to poison by the time that I was done.
Yeah, okay, you don't manage to knock him over, but...
Yes. Give me the coffee picking, please, and thank you. And she's gonna try and make a strength thing. I'm gonna roll a straight strength just to see if she... Hey! 30-20.
Yeah, she gets it.
Yep.
Yeah.
She gets it.
The stuff in that cup does not look exactly like coffee. It looks like black, hyper-saturated coffee-scented sludge.
Lynn is staring at it. You can kind of see the look of she wants to try it, but she won't. But you can full on see the cat pupils dilating in a sense, even though it's a monkey, and she just goes, nope, okay, that's going in the hammer space, and she just shoves it in there, like mug and all. Just, why?
Because I've been busy and trying to stay awake. If you haven't noticed, Einquell's gone to hell.
It's gone to pecking hell in a fucking handbasket, I'm aware.
And some of us are tasked with keeping people safe from the, as you would so eloquently put it, pecking magical bullshit, or as I would put it, fucking magical goddamn bullshit.
Oh, God. But yeah.
I cannot tell you the amount of times that I have been called at ass o'clock in the morning to go and handle some idiot who decided that it would be funny to try and mess with magic that they don't understand how to use.
You're telling me, honestly, a recent case? You know about what a black pudding is, right?
The dish?
Nope, the absolutely terrifying black sludge monstrosity that likes eating things like acid. Anyway, there was one of those in a mall. I had to deal with that.
Why?
That was because sometimes some idiots get it in their heads that they want to recreate the Jello incident. And then they do, and they don't know how to control it, and then it all goes to peck in hell.
And we are rolling history again, and Almond definitely knows what the Jello incident is.
Yes!
And he just puts his head in his hands.
Yeah. I admit, I know a couple of things about that. I'm not allowed to tell you everything myself, because, I got a new informant. But, yeah.
You are going to have so many people to introduce me to, kid.
Oh, I have so many to introduce you to. I have so many. We're starting with Rye, okay? Straight up, we are getting Wendy and Rye introduced.
Oh, absolutely. It's my turn to be the uncle.
Hey! And here's the best thing. You can't teach him any of the swear words, because I already taught him all of them.
Oh, I can teach him some real kind ones.
Don't you pick and dare. Don't you mother pick and dare.
Fucking watch me, Stagehand.
And there is the scandalised, but she cannot stop the laugh. There is a very dramatic hand on her chest. It's just, oh, you picking scoundrel, you're corrupting the youth.
Quit clutching your pearls. You had my daughter swearing by the time she was 3 years old.
Fair point, but she honestly, the rattles were pathetic. The exclamation mark worked far better.
Look, I didn't exactly have the highest salary back then. I had just moved here, for pity's sake.
Fine. And besides, she did like the rattles that I made.
That she did. I think she still has at least one of them in the attic somewhere.
Aww. That's adorable.
And he's going to pick up one of the mugs from the table, which is admittedly less dangerous looking, and take a sip of coffee.
Give me the pickin' mug. Honestly, I'm now starting to figure out how everyone else felt. That is a nat 20 from Lin.
Yeah, so he takes a sip of the coffee and Lin just snatches.
Yeah, and then what she does, as just because of that nat 20, she gets up, she crosses over your lap, she gets to the table with the rest of these coffees on, and with her tail she just puts them in our hammer space.
You're gonna give yourself a heart attack with all of those.
Actually, I don't drink coffee anymore.
There is a moment of silence, then... Who are you? What have you done with Goldie?
No, I swear, I'm Goldie. However, I do say that, well, Asclepius cast Protect Against Poison, and I'm pretty sure if I tried anything, he'd know, and then him and Jacques would give the disappointed face. Rye knows prevention of poison, or whatever the pick you call it, and he's got the puppy eye, and you can't fight that. And Network's got a habit of, well, the violent crunch of the coffee maker against a wall every time I say, I might want a cup. Yeah, that thing is beyond repair. It's used as stress relief. I'm actually kind of scared to bring a coffee into the building.
Oh, good lord.
Yeah. Network has some issues with coffee nowadays. Admittedly, it does make sense. I lost count after 21 shots in a 5-mug-a-day thing, and I was brewing with the spare. Yeah. They might have had a point. Don't worry, we'll fix it for you as well.
And he just gives you a look.
We're gonna solve it. We're gonna solve it. When was the last time you slept?
There's just a very visible ... next to his head as he thinks. Counts on his fingers, looks at the desk, looks at the wall, looks at the desk again, looks at the coffee table. mentally counts the rings from the coffee cups on the table and says, about a week.
Right, okay. Yeah, Lynn is now crossed back over. She is now sitting on your lap. You have now got, like, yeah, she's not exactly the biggest, but yeah, she is actually quite decently muscled, and she just sits down on your lap, arms crossed, going, "You're not moving from this spot again."
Lynn, I have a case that's due in 3 hours.
Tell you what, you take a nap, I'll take a look at it.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely yes.
No.
Yes!
No, Lynn.
Look, we did this all the time when, well, actually, you passed out, I read the case, I made notes. You mainly didn't get a chance. You didn't get a choice in those days because you just passed out. This is me giving you a choice. Go the fuck to sleep.
No.
Yes. I will hit you over the head. I know that works. I know you're a toon.
Lynn, he's going to try and lift you.
Do it.
That's a 4.
Yeah. This monkey is slippery, and you try, and she just whaps you with her tail. And she just goes, no. Sleep.
Lynn, I could not sleep right now if I tried.
Oh, trust me. If I've learned anything, it's the longer I was on the coffee, and then if I was stopped for even a moment, it was really easy to fall asleep. And you are going to fall asleep, I bet you, in 5 minutes.
Tell you what. Give it 5 minutes. If I'm not asleep, you let me work on my damn case.
Fine. And I help.
If
Because you know you always missed something when you were sleep deprived. I remember.
Okay, but I still managed to solve it.
Yes. And then someone would escape and we'd have to do it again. So
That was one time.
And I'm never letting it go. Ever.
It wasn't even my doing. The dumbasses at the detention center let them sneak in a bomb.
Admittedly, yeah, honestly, there are some cases where you just wonder what the heck the police department was doing. Then again, the wild magic porridge on another case was certainly something as well. Case where they breathed fire. That was a fun case. You remember that case?
Which one?
The one where the people were breathing fire. I had to call you in on that one. It was so much fun.
Oh, God. Your definition of fun needs some work, Goldie. I swear to God, half your fur was singed off after that one.
It grew back. Eventually.
You looked like you had a half shave and everybody was scandalized.
Yeah, Lynn does she just laughs at this one, yeah. Network was heartbroken. Network didn't recognize me for a good few seconds. That was a fun tornado, I'll tell you that.
How is Network, by the way? I haven't talked to her in a while.
She's doing good. I mean, things have been chaotic and haywire, but they're coming back even stronger than before. I think it's the amount of connections I've built, and they're building a few of their own. I mean, I think Network is talking to a god. I'm not sure. I think she likes a god.
I beg your pardon.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure of it myself.
Which god, if you know?
Hismatone, I think.
Oh, yeah,
I mean,
no, that's fine. She's fine.
Yeah, Rainbow Song So Kind is apparently very nice. I mean, I finally figured out that no, it wasn't an imaginary friend. No, it is a real god. That was interesting to figure out. Probably had a few crises on that front. Yeah. But they're doing better now. And now that I'm doing better, they're doing even better than that. And they're certainly liking Rye being in the house.
That's good. I'm glad to hear it. They're a sweetheart.
It's in the name. And I'm gonna roll. I know she literally. she actually, at her best, she cannot roll. She can match your stuff, but let's see. A sleight of hand. Do. Yeah, she's so close. It's as you're talking, she has taken off of her coat, and she is just kind of bunching it as though she's trying to make a pillow for you, because yes, she has done this before, and she's very carefully trying to just make you go to sleep because you need it and you're a good man and she likes you and you're getting sleep, and she's doing your case. She's doing several of your cases. You can do.
Hey, V-Wild.
Yep.
Would Lynn like to roll insight on Almond?
Yes, she would. Insight isn't one of our best, but let's hope. 16.
16's not bad. He's not doing great, dude.
Yes.
Like, obviously there's the sleep-deprived thing. You know, hasn't slept in a week, the dumbass. But there's a lot more gray in his hair than there used to be. Like, he always had a bit of premature gray way back when you first met him. But there's a lot more gray in his hair than there used to be. There are a couple new scars on his face and on his arms where you can see them. And he's also a good deal thinner than he was when you left. It does kind of look like he's been running himself a little ragged, so he's not going to try and fight you on this the way he might have a couple years ago.
Then, on taking that in, there is definitely something that crosses her face as she does just take it all in. And then, yeah, she is straight back to hugging you.
Oh. Bless your heart, Lynn.
Yeah.
And I think eventually he is gonna kind of submit to the fact that, okay, yeah, I do need to sleep at some point.
Yep. You're gonna sleep. If we get to 4.5 minutes and you're not asleep, I do have an anvil.
You are not dropping an anvil on me. We don't need those hospital bills.
Who said we're going to the hospital? Hospitals suck.
Yes,
and
but
besides,
you know that I run on different rules than you because Parthenia, real kind, ugh.
Yeah. But on that note, I do have something I know, and yeah. And Lynn does actually lean back and she just goes, guess who learnt some pickin' magical bullshit?
Oh god. Goldie, what did you learn?
I learnt some stuff. I'm not going to show one of the things I learned because it actually does. Did you know you can damage people by talking at them? I mean, not just the psychological, although yes, but magic can make it hurt.
Oh, vicious mockery.
That's the pecking ticket. I know that one. I'm not going to do that one. And she points at you, and yeah, there is definitely the signature very much Lynn. Lynn still hasn't quite got audible control, and she just like, hunt it! I know bad spells now.
And he just kind of rubs at his ear a little bit and's like, yep, you sure do.
And she casts message. That was message that she cast. She is so smug about that spell. It is her favourite spell ever. She loves it.
Comes in handy, doesn't it?
Yeah. Oh, it is the best thing ever. But anyway, you are going to go sleep, and I am going to wander around this room as though it's completely innocent and completely normal, and you are just going to lie down, and you are going to sleep, and you are not going to get up when I close my eyes or look away.
I make no promises, Goldie.
Oh, I make the promises. I have electric tape in my hammer space. I will use it.
Wait, electric as in electrified or electric as in for electrical equipment? There's a very big difference, Goldie.
I will let you know if I have to use it, and that is a threat. And yeah, she is not going to tell you.
That's concerning.
But she is gonna wander around the room just so that she's not like, because yeah, this monkey does fidget.
Yeah.
And I think the last thing that she does do is go over to that board, because yeah, she is curious about that.
Yep. Do you want to roll investigation on the board as sort of the last roll of the game?
Yeah. Let's see, what is your investigation, Lynn? +6, if needed. 24.
Nice. Okay. So you look at this board, Lynn, and it is a year and 2 months worth of newspaper clippings and of photos and of headlines, all sorts of things. But mixed in amongst the assorted pieces of information are clips of maps. There are notes in a familiar, slightly more unsteady than it's probably supposed to be. Blame that on the black sludge. In a familiar hand, there are notes. Notes like possible lead, crossed out, no sign of her. There are notes relating to theories about why you left, theories about what might be happening. There are numbers of people who he's called and nobody he knew was in contact with you. And there's a card tacked to the board. And it's not like anything you've seen before. It's sort of a plastic card, not a business card. Tacked to the board through a thin slot in the top of it, with a symbol of an open eye over an open book. And Almond's name written in the top right corner, with the title underneath of not detective, but field librarian.
Huh.
And there's a little sticky note attached to it that says, "Last resort, ask for help."
Lynn's gonna make a note of that. I mean, Lynn's memory can be incredibly sharp. She's gonna memorize that. All of that. And then she's gonna nod. She's gonna glance over at Almond and she's gonna go for that file. Because, yeah, she's gonna solve that case for him.
And I think that might be a good place to end the FPS, yeah?
Indeed!
This was a delight. Thank you so much, Wild, for doing impromptu FPS with me. I hold these detectives so fucking soft.
They are so very fucking soft. We absolutely love it. And hey, impromptu FPS, thank you for encouraging my bullshit.
Excuse you, it's not bullshit, it's a fucking delight. Anyway, thank you all for listening. We hope you enjoyed. Have a nice evening. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.
Bye.